Oh, hi there. It's Thursday, it's early for me, and as I mentioned yesterday, it's going to be a short stream for me. It's closing in on 9 a.m. my time, and I have to be done by probably at the most 10:30, 10:35 my time, so that's in an hour and 40 minutes or so. And since it wasn't much time, and that may not be enough time, for a game and then a review on Shogi Club 24, for example, I thought I'd do some Tsumeshogi. I haven't been on Play Shogi in a while. I had lost my layouts, and so I quickly whipped up this layout, and I'm just going to do some mate and fives. We can chat. There's no major goals today. Just Tsume playing or chatting, and that's really going to be it. We are here. I put the link in the chat for the problem. Let me actually copy this and put this into the YouTube chat as well, now that the YouTube chat is available. This is Mate and Fives. It's the first set of Mate and Fives. And hey, werfeus, nice to see you. The first set of Mate and Fives, and that's really it. So if the layout is not great, in the chat is not great, blame me, of course, but this is a very quick stab at getting a Play Shogi layout. So that's it. Let's start. Let's start, I guess. Looking here, this is the problem one, and it's the Tsume N5 1/5. And if I drop the gold, they can run, and that's it. I can bring up the horse. They run. If the king runs to 4-1, I've got the gold on 5-2. If they run to 2-1, I drop the knight. If he takes, I drop the gold on 1-1. If the king runs, I drop the gold on 2-3. All right, so that's it. Okay, so first problem. Zenmius, hello. Yeah, you're not first. You are not first. You were quick. You were very quick, but not first, unfortunately. Well, fortunately. All right, next problem. Problem 2. Let me just make sure that the layout is still looking all right. Still seems fine. Put down my tea. I'm drinking red tea again. We can't drop the pawn because you can't mate with the pawn drop. So what if we take the knight? About the podcast, you actually don't mind to join again if you feel like talking to myself is not fun. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I have a list of notes that I'm taking of things to talk about on second interviews. So a couple people that have done an interview have requested, have mentioned the same thing, that that they'd be open to doing a second, and I would love that. But I think I want to hold off a little longer. I want to get a few more episodes, a few more interviews under my belt before I go back. I don't, it feels kind of sad and pitiful. In a way, I think, it's my own little hang up. It feels a little sad and pitiful to so early in the podcast life, like we're at like 5 months or so, not even, and to be double dipping on guests feels pretty desperate, if that makes any sense. And so I don't know. I may take you up on the offer, and I appreciate it. I think I will eventually, if I'm still doing the podcast. But I think I want to see that the podcast can be sort of self-sufficient without just being the same people, if that makes sense again. So what do we have here? What do we have here? We have... Oh, I can turn it into a two-person podcast. Yeah. So I definitely don't want to do that all the time. Because then it would become too much of a chore for me, quite honestly. I would feel a lot more nervous about it, and I would having to do scheduling would, I think, be a little more annoying. And I appreciate the offer. I don't think I have that in me to do a regular, like, multi-person podcast at this point. At this point. Yeah, as long as the podcast keeps. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know how long the podcast is going to last. Um, hey, Domino, nice to see you. We'll see. Because there are other things that will influence how long I keep doing the podcast, like the views. The views, the likes, things like that. Those seem to be going down over time, and I'm not loving the numbers. I've got full disclosure. I am not loving the numbers that I'm seeing on the podcast in general. But sometimes it's just an investment. You've got to do it for a while before it happens. And so I'm also thinking about, as I might have mentioned the other day, buying a year's worth of RSS.com subscription so I can get the feed out there on Spotify, on Apple, and so people with podcast reader or podcast players, exclusively podcast players, can listen to it without going to YouTube. We'll see. Why am I not solving this? Why am I not solving this? Why am I not solving this? Rook up? Bishop, or horse 2-4. Horse 2-4. Dragon has to take. Pawn drop 1-5. Dragon has to take. Dragon 2-3. All right. Tricky one. Tricky one. This feels a little contrived. Not liking this one as much. You like this one? Hey, Danny Boy to first on. So I don't like the ones as much that feel like they wouldn't happen in a game. Maybe this would, and I just don't see them. But this to me feels like a more artistic tsume. Like a very contrived one. This is playshogi.com. Let me paste the link again. These are the mate and fives. All right. So I've got three pieces. I've got three pieces, and I think that means if these are proper tsume, I have to only drop. Yeah, I see it. Knight drop 2-3. Well, knight drop 2-3. If pawn takes, bishop drop 2-2. King, wherever king goes, I get the gold drop to mate. Although that's much longer than 5. Oh no, knight drop, if the pawn takes, then gold drop is just mate. So knight drop, king runs, knight drop, knight drop, king runs to 2-2, gold drop 1-1, king runs to 3-1, bishop drop 5-3 is mate. Well, but that's still 7 because he runs and then I go over here. Knight drop, king runs to 2-2. Knight drop, king runs to 2-2. Bishop 2-1. King 1-3. Gold 2-4 would be made. Knight drop 2-3. King 2-2 or 1-2. Bishop 2-1. King takes 2-3. Gold drop 2-4 is mate. Knight drop 2-3. King 2-1. Gold drop 1-1. King 3-1. Bishop drop 5-3. King 4-1. Bishop 4-2 promote. But that's 7. So there must be another way, but oh, this would have just been mate to begin with. This, duh. If he ran to 2-1, it just would have been mate to begin with. Okay. All right. So I'm not great. I'm not great at, I'm not the greatest at tsume in general, but I am really not great at tsume and shogi while I'm streaming. So, hey, Yloigh. Are they more well curated than Lee Shogi's? That's a tough question. I mean, they are curated. Lee Shogi's are not really. A lot of Lee Shogi's are not curated. Excuse me. Excuse me. Lee Shogi has a lot of junk. Lee Shogi has a lot of great ones, but they also have a lot of junk. And there's no kind of easy grouping that I know of. I don't know if they're better quality because play shogis are most of the time they're real tsume problems. Like they're I can't remember the word now. I can't remember the word for full board shogi position problems, which I prefer. Like, I don't necessarily prefer, I don't like contrived just puzzle problems as much. No, composition is not the word I'm looking for. Good day, Emperor Rex. Jisen. It's called Jisen Shogi. I think it's Jisen. Jisen, I think it is. Jisen Tsumeshogi. Yloigh's got it. Yeah, Jisen. Jisen Tsumeshogi. I prefer those, but these are great for working out patterns. I don't know. Who knows what is better for actual learning. But this site has a lot of puzzle problems. So like this, for example, the link I gave is Tsume in 5, 1 of 5. So they have a lot. They have 5 of these Tsume in 5 problems. This one has 53 problems in the set. There are a bunch of mate in 1s. They have a bunch of mate in 3s. Yeah, I have also done the Lee Shogi on the easiest and easier. it helps grinding the fast problems, which I think are important. You know, there's certainly discussion on, I don't want to say the efficacy, but there's certainly discussion on the study efficiency of doing lots of easy problems quickly versus doing a few slow problems, you know, hard problems slowly. And you know, different people feel different things are more important. Maybe they're just both important. It's both important to do a mix. But I do know there are many strong shogi, not many, but there are strong shogi players that I have talked to, including in the interview with Grandmaster Zkid. He is a believer in studying hard tsume problems, solving very hard tsume problems. The idea there, and I've heard this on multiple chess podcasts from other Grandmaster educators like him, I've heard this, where they say you want your training to be more difficult than the actual game. You want your games to be the easy part, and your training should be the hard part. I've heard a few respected educators say that, but I've also heard respected educators say the opposite. And yeah, so who knows? But I think that makes a lot of sense, and it has certainly worked for them. And so I mix it. The practical thing for me is that when I decide to sit down and do a bunch of tsume problems, you know, I admit, and maybe this is a weakness of mine, but I admit that I don't get that same sort of endorphin rush when I'm doing long tsume problems, you know, because I'm solving them so much more infrequently. So if I sit down for an hour and a half or 2 hours to do tsume problems, and let's say I grab my Mate in 7 book, and let's say I solve 6 problems. Let's say I solve 6 problems, 6 or 7 problems. That's 6 or 7 grueling problems that I'm struggling to make without a lot of sort of endorphin feedback, you know, endorphin. But like if I'm doing Mate in 1s or Mate in 3s or Mate in 5s, and I'm just sort of blitzing through these Mate in 1s and Mate in 3s and Mate in 5s, I've got that hit. I've got that hit every time I solve one. It's like, all right, next one, all right, you know, next one, all right, next one. Like it's, you know, kind of the gamification of it. And whether that makes me a better shogi player or not is a different thing. But it does make me do more of. It makes me enjoy doing the faster ones more. And I tell myself that, you know, in a game of shogi, there will be a lot of easy, fast mates that I need to see quickly. And I completely believe that's true. That there will be tons of mates, you know, in a game of shogi that you just have to play fast. You have to be able to see them quickly. But you know, what do I know? You know, I'm a low level chump at shogi. So we've got. You think the 80-20 rule is good for the problems in terms of success? About a 1 in 5 chance of failing the problem, then moving on quickly. Yeah, well, so the thing is with the 80-20 rule, and I've heard that before, the thing with the 80-20 rule is that when I do the 80-20 rule, it's more like the 95-5 rule. If the problem is going to be hard enough that I can get it, if the problem is going to be hard enough that I could be mistaken about my solution, that means that it's going to be a hard problem, which means I'm going to make sure that I solved it before I move on. Because I don't guess and check. So when I'm doing tsume, I don't guess and check. Like when I'm streaming, sometimes, you know, for time's sake I do, but when I'm doing tsume at home, you know, off stream just by myself, I don't guess and check. Before I turn the page and look at the answer, I'm 95+% chance sure that I'm correct. So it's difficult for me in the way that I approach these to do 80-20. Oh, Yloigh, that's a good idea. You like to do Lee Shogi problems not logged in to get random strength. I like that idea. My only problem with that is that I'm such a stats nerd. Is that I like that's the problem. Is that I'm such a stats nerd that if I'm doing these things, I sort of like to have stats. Maybe set a timer. Well, when I do timed tsume, excuse me, gosh, my throat is going. When I do timed tsume, I do those like a lot of times on Shogi Quest where there's a 30-second timer. In those, of course, I will guess if I'm running out of time. I will guess. And they do a good job of giving you a ranking and making it harder to get up. 10 minutes should be the maximum. Yeah. Well, I think I intuitively keep it at 10 to 20 minutes. You're right. You're right. So let's see. Silver drop, king runs. Or no, gold takes. Rook takes, silver, gold. No. Okay, so rook takes, king takes, knight drop, no. Wait, knight drop, dragon takes, king takes, knight drop, king runs, rook, gold drop, king runs. No, that's too long. That's too long. That's not mate in 5. Rook takes, king takes, 4-1 dragon, get the 1 gap. King runs. King runs. Yeah, king runs. Gold drop, king runs, knight drop, king runs. That's not it. Hmm. Let's see. Gold drop. Gold takes. Dragon slides over. Gold drop. No, yeah, and then wait. So why do I have a silver and a gold? Why do I have a silver and a gold? Oh, because what if knight takes? No, knight take. Knight can't take. So silver drop, king takes, gold drop is mate. Silver drop, gold takes, rook takes. No, silver drop, gold takes. Dragon 1-3. Oh, the knight is still here. The knight is still here. The knight is still here. So it's not. Oh, silver. So I have a gold at the end. Okay, hold on. Silver drop. Gold takes. Rook drop. If they block, it's just dragon takes and it's mate. So silver drop, gold takes, gold takes, dragon 1-3, gold takes, gold drop 2-2. So the king can't run to 1-2. So we save the gold for later, as the proverb says. All right. I've definitely taken more than 10 minutes for a hard book, though. I've taken over 20 minutes for some problems. Okay, so problem number 5. We've got 2 silvers. So I'm just going to drop it on the head. Silver drop. King takes 2-2. Oh, no. Token, pawn 2-1. King takes. Silver 1-2. Lance takes. Silver 2-2. It's a pretty common it's a pretty common theme in tsume. I don't know if it's a common theme in books. I mean, in games. Like, tsume books seem to love this pattern. I don't know if I see this in games very often. Okay, problem 6. Problem 6. We've got a gold and a bishop in hand. We've got a knight aiming at 3-3 and 2-3 and 1-3. Just staring. Just staring. Just staring. So if we drop the we've got to stop this escape square. So this is the 3-3 is the escape square. So looking at bishop drop 1-4. The king will only have 2 options. 1-3, which is an easy mate with gold drop 2-4, and then king takes. So king takes. Knight 1-3 promote to try to pull the king back up, because if the king takes, then we drop the gold on 2-4. Otherwise, the king has to run to either 2-4 or 2-5. If he runs either way, so either way he runs, we get a gold drop 2-6. And that is it, because this square will be 1-4 will be covered by the promoted knights, and 2-3 or 2-4 is covered by the silver. Okay, that's a cool one. Don't know, how realistic maybe it is. Okay. Danny boy, you got it. Hey, Gabrielle, nice to see you. Oh, hi there. Doing some mate and fives as I wait. We've got in a little over an hour. I'm gonna have to cut out just because we have someone coming to take care of some carpenter ants, and I hope it's okay because I don't know if this is coming through on the stream. It doesn't look like it's totally coming through on the stream. It's pouring outside. It is raining real hard outside here. One of those rare California days of rain, or Northern California days of rain. So we cannot drop the pawn on 1-2 because that would be mate. We cannot drop the knight to check. So we have very few options. We have silver 1-2 and silver 2-2 and dragon 3-3. Hint, it's mate in 5 moves. Good hint. Good hint. Yeah, this is the tsume in 5. I'm not sure if you're joking. Yeah, this is a tsume in 5 collection. So dragon horse 3-3, knight takes, pawn drop 1-2, king 2-1, knight drop 1-3. All right. I'll take it. Okay, you were just kidding. You feel your rating is inflated right now on 81 Dojo, 1250. The other 4Q feels stronger than you on 81. Think you got lucky a few games and it bumped up too fast. Yeah, I mean, I'm also a little, I think, inflated on 81 Dojo. I think 81 Dojo can be inflated. So 81 Dojo, I think more than any of the shogi sites, is very much subject to the bubble effect, I think, where the 4Q and the low Qs and the Qs, I think the Qs in general are very... I think there's a wide range of skill levels at the various Q ranks. For example, some of the Japanese 4Q players are much stronger than 4Qs. Some of the Western 4Qs are much weaker than sort of 4Qs. So you get that bubble effect where sometimes the Westerners playing each other, for example, like in the ladder or something else. Not that the ladder has that many games, but like I think you potentially get a bubble where Westerners playing other Westerners might be ranking up a little more quickly. Whereas, for whatever reason, it seems some of the Japanese players on 81 Dojo that are at like the 3-4Q rank, they're really strong, and maybe they just don't care about their rank, or maybe they like sandbagging, maybe they don't like the pressure of playing rated games, so they kind of nuke their rating. I think that is when we talk about sandbagging, I don't bring that up enough. I think that is also a reason why people do it. I think it's a self-defense mechanism. Like if you have rank anxiety, let's say you're a Shodan or a Tudan and you have rank anxiety, one way to deal with the rank anxiety is to just nuke your rank and play you're better than 5Q. You're better than 5Q. Like even if you have rank anxiety, like that you're better than 5Q. But like if you're 5Q, there's no pressure. You win, you lose, it doesn't matter because your rating is already your rating is so bad. So I think that's a reason, potential reason why people sometimes do that. Yeah, Danny boy, you played a Japanese 4Q, clobbered you with a near perfect game. Yeah. So when I was going for my rank ups, you know, one of the things I looked at was the number of games they've played. So I decided, like, if this is a 1Q who has played 10,000 games, you know, maybe I'm going to avoid this guy. Maybe I'm going to avoid this guy. You know, not that it's these. I'm just looking for red flags. Maybe I'm going to avoid this guy. If it's a 1Q or a 2Q that has a winning streak of, you know, a max winning streak, 81 Dojo records max winning streaks. If they got a max winning streak of like 25, I'm going to ignore that guy, you know, because you know, as even now as a 2-dan on 81 Dojo and, you know, Shodan on Shogi Wars, you know, an inflated 2-dan on Shogi Wars, and you know, Shodan on an inflated 2-dan on 81 Dojo and a Shodan on Shogi Wars, a low Shodan on Shogi Wars. I don't think I've ever won 20 games in a row. Like right now, I would not be able to beat a 2. Maybe you know, my game is more volatile than others. I will admit, but I could never win 20 games in a row against even legitimate 2Qs on 81 Dojo. You know, even if I played 4Qs, I'd probably lose a game. You know, I'd probably mentally turn off at some point during a winning game and make some stupid mistake or make a Nifu or, you know, something like that. Like if the opponent isn't going to resign and I'm just like, they're just, you know, the opponent is just wasting my time basically. You know, it's, I could definitely just lose track of it. So so I decided when I was trying to rank up, if someone has, you know, thousands of games played, and or if they have a large max win streak, I just won't challenge them. So I took myself out of all of that concern. You think your max streak is about 6 to 8 on 81 Dojo and probably similar on Shogi Wars. Yeah, my max streak on Shogi Wars, I think across the time controls is 10. I think it is 9 and 10 for all my time controls. My 10 minute, my 3 minute, and my 10 second. And I think my max win streak on Shogi Wars across time controls, you know, when I had that winning streak event, I think it was 13 or 14, which is admittedly pretty high. Which is pretty high, you know, which is going against what I'm saying a bit. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say to that. I was very low. I most of that were 3-minute games, and I was underrated at the time for 3 minutes. You solved until problem 22. It's so fun. You haven't had Tsumeshogi this fun for a long time. You like these mate and these Tsume and 5, or are you doing some other set? So I'm looking at silver drop first. Silver drop, gold takes. Gold drop, rook takes. No, and then takes, and that's not mate. Silver drop. Silver drop 2-1. Rook takes. I can't take with the silver because he can run to 1-3. Hey Siv, nice to see you. Yeah, we can force the exchange here. Gold drop with gold drop 1-1. Rook takes. Gold drop. Rook takes. All right, so gold drop, rook takes, gold drop 1-3, gold takes, silver takes, king takes, and I just have a rook in hand. Um, gold, silver drop 1-3, gold takes, silver promote 1-1. If rook takes, I drop the gold. If king takes, I drop the gold. So silver drop 1-3, gold takes. Silver promote, rook takes, gold drop 2-2. King takes, gold drop 2-2. That's kind of a neat one. Hey Rico, nice to see you. Yeah, these are all mate and fives. These are just mate and fives. This is, let me link again. That was problem 8 here. Oops. Yeah. That is it. So number 9. These problems seem to be extremely sacrifice heavy, and maybe that is the way it is in the world, out in the real world. I don't know. These do feel a little contrived to me, but I think I run the risk of believing they're contrived because I don't see them during my games when they do exist. So I'm looking. I am looking at pawn. At my first instinct is pawn 1-2 promote. My first instinct is pawn 2-2 promote. 1-2 promote. Hmm. Okay. So I need. Yeah. My first instinct is not working. So pawn 1-2, Lance takes, and I don't think I can drop a bishop on 1-1. Bishop drop 1-1, king takes, and then I don't have mate. So it's a mate and 5. It's a mate and 5. So Gold takes. So gold takes 3-3. King takes. I can't drop the bishop on 2-2. The king can run to 4-3. Wait, if the king runs to 4-3, then I drop the gold on 4-4. So let me look at that again. So gold takes 3-3. If knight takes, gold takes 3-3. Knight takes. Gold drop 2-3 is mate. Gold takes 3-3. Yeah, king takes 1-3. Then it's just horse 2-3. Gold takes. King takes. Bishop drop 2-2. King runs to 2-4. King runs to 2-4, and then he's out. Yeah, and then he's out. So I think that's the problem with that. What about gold 2-3? Gold takes. Gold takes. Okay, so gold 2-3, gold takes. Token 3-2. King has to take 1-3. Bishop drop. Bishop drop 3-1. Is mate. But wait, do we need that bishop? Wait, gold 2-3. Gold takes. Token 3-2. Only move is king takes 1-3. Get my horse over to 3-2 to 3-1. No, because the gold is now defending this square. The gold is defending this square. Yeah, so gold. Let's get the horse over then. Horse. Gold. Horse. Takes. Gold. Okay, so gold takes. Gold 2-3. Gold takes. Token takes 2-1. King takes. Well, the king can't take because then the bishop drop on 4-3 would be mate. So king takes 1-3. Knight drop. No. Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah, these are the ones I'm guessing off stream I would just sort of see it pretty quickly, but on stream I can't. I overblow my stack. So what else? What are our options? What are our other options? Horse takes, or horse 2-3. King can take, and then run. Let's see. So again, my checks are pawn promote, pawn down, pawn 2-1, dragon 2-3, or horse 2-3, gold 2-3, horse 4-2 or 3-2, gold takes 3-3. So there are a lot of options here. A lot of options. I think I've disproven gold takes 3-3. Because the king takes, and then the king can run. The king can run down through 2-4. So what about just straight out toking 3-2? Toking 3-2. Gold takes. Bishop drop 2-3. Bishop drop 3-2 or 3-1. Gold takes. Gold 2-3 is mate. Toking 3-2. The only other option is king takes 1-3. And then we just get a knight drop. Then we'd have a knight drop on 3, or bishop drop on 3-1. All right, so I think that's it. Toking 3-2, gold takes, bishop drop 3-1, gold takes, gold 2-3. Toking 3-2, king takes 1-3. What I don't like about this is that I don't need the bishop in this line. So toking 3-2, king takes 1-3, horse 3-1. Maybe if the opponent makes the wrong move, you don't have to use all your pieces. So, interesting. Okay. That's a cool problem about trying to, I think what Koshiro calls moving the opponent's pieces to give us the position that we want. I'm not sure. He called it something better. He had some better term for it. Basically, you visualize the position you want, and then you try to work to move their pieces such that you have the position you want. You see a mate in 9 and Play Shogi is lying about there not being a mate in that line. Uh-oh. Bug report. Wait, what is the mate in line? Which one? What do you think here? It's not deflection. Not deflection. It's It's like it's related to deflection, but it's not. Okay, so take. And we won't be able to do this. Yeah. So what's the mate in 9? So Lance takes. What is the mate? Because I looked at this and I didn't see it. So Tokine, Lance. Oh, it's the same basic thing, right? Is it pawn, Lance takes, pawn drop, or a Tokine 3, then it's Tokine 3-2 after. Gold takes. Okay. I think the king being able to run to 1-1 becomes a hard part about it. Oh, so now it's listed as wrong for me. So I've got to do it again. What's also interesting is that that they allow a second way. But anyway. So problem 10. Knight promote. Knight 1-2. King has to run to 1-4. Knight 1-2. King 1-4. Knight 1-3, or promoted knight 1-3. If king takes, gold drop 2-4. King runs to 1-5, gold drop 2-6. All right. The get over, yeah, exactly. Get over here. This is a scorpion. This was a scorpion. That's a cool one. I don't know if I've ever seen these in my games, but again, it's possible I'm just missing these in my games. Problem 11. Number 11. Where's the king? Okay, the king. I couldn't find the king. The king is on 1-3. My first move is gold 2-3. So if I drop gold 2-3, Lance takes, dragon takes, that's mate. So gold drop 2-3, king 1-4. Gold drop 1-2-3, king 1-4, dragon 3-4 to make the 1 gap. King 1-5. Gold drop 2-4, 1-4. King takes. Dragon 3-4. Get the 1 gap. Get the double check. King 1-5. Okay, dragon 3-3. Dragon 3-3. If he blocks, it's just a gold drop for mate. So bishop has to take. Bishop has to take. Gold drop 1-4. King 2-2. This is mate in 7. Wait, dragon 3-3. If the opponent blocks, the king can't run. If the king runs a 2-2, it's just bishop promote on 3-2. If the king runs to 1-4, the king can't run to 1-4 because this is blocked. So if you drop the gold, and that's mate. So the only thing is bishop takes. And then gold drop 1-4. King runs to 2-2. Gold to 2-3. King to 3-1. Gold to 3-2. Wait, what? What? Wait. No, there is mate. There is mate. There is mate. Gold drop 1-4. King 2-2. Gold 2-3. King 3-1. Gold 3-2. Right? Wait, this is... King 1-1. King 1-1. Thank you. There it is. Okay. Just like that last problem. Or 2 problems ago. Okay. Dragon 2-2. Dragon 2-2. Short circuit the problem. Hey, Dude, nice to see you. Yeah, just short circuit the previous solution. All right. Number 12. What do we have? Promote. If he takes. So bishop promote 1-1. King runs. Horse back to 3-3. Your king runs. Gold drop. King takes. Gold drop on 3-4. Okay. That's an interesting problem. That's definitely one. That's an interesting one. I can't imagine this one's all that practical. Maybe. Like if I ever did this in a game, I'd feel like a god. Yeah, Gabrielle. Yeah, this is an artistic one. This is a very artistic one. Problem 13. In a game, it's going to be very hard for me not to just promote again, but let's see. You know, I can't... The running square is this, so we cannot let the king run here. Well, it's both of these squares. We can't let the king get to 3-3 or to 2-3. You know, horse is looking horse 4-1. King has to go to 3-3. There it is. Bishop 2-2. Promote. King has to take. Gold drop 2-3. All right. I could see that one happening. I could see that one happening. This is like the silvers and bishops next to each other, like sacrifice, that sort of motif. That's one of the hammers. Yeah, Eureka, you say this, you haven't had this happen, but this can happen at open-end games where you suddenly get the exact pieces. Yeah, this one can definitely happen. Or do you mean the previous? Like, this one definitely happens. Like, I was about to say that it feels like sometimes I've got, like, this is a hammer that, like, or when all you've got is a hammer, you know, everything looks like a nail. I try to take a hammer to so many of these. Hey, sir, do I have too many bishops? Do you want one? Oh, you think that other one could happen in an open-end game? Like that silver, the silver was, you know, the silver on 4-1 was just kind of magical of, you know, blocking everywhere. The silver on 4-1 with one of their pieces on 4-2. The silver was indicative that I chased the king out of Mino. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I could see that. All right. I'm gonna get some more tea. So I've got 30 more minutes before I have to go and deal with the carpenter ant people. But I'm gonna take a bio break and refill my water and tea. Be right back. I'll leave it here because I'm in a different OBS scene selection, or what are they called? I don't know what they're called. Collection. And hey, this is Ash Chess. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back with my red tea, my a Twinings red tea bag by Rooibos. Yeah, Mino Castle is especially ripe for fancy games. That's true. That's true. Um, oh, okay, Ash, you had your exams going on. You joined after a long time. Okay. I hope they went well. I hope they went well. I'll just assume they went well. You know, because we shogi players, we're the smartest people in the world. Oh boy. Um, what was I gonna say? Tomorrow's stream. So tomorrow for Friday, I it's usually the fast shogi Friday. It's usually 10-second games on Shogi Wars, but there is on Lee Chess, Lee Chess, on Lee Shogi. You know, I've said so many times that I will never play on Lee Shogi again. I've said it so many times, but you know, the siren song of a tournament comes out, and it's tomorrow is the yearly classical arena. It runs for 8 hours, it looks like, from, I think this is my time, from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So, you know, if I start streaming around my normal time, I've got a few hours to go through to 1 p.m. So I might do that. I might do that. You know, we'll see. Werfeus. Okay, fair enough. Werfeus representing the Go community. Loyalty. You know, loyalty is rewarded in this channel. You know, I reward that. I believe in that. Okay, so next one, problem 14. What do we have? We've got double bishops again. We've got double bishops again. I'm immediately looking at taking here. If I take on 2-2, king takes this pawn, it takes 2-5, lance drop 2-6. No, that's not it. Lance drop 2-6, the king can run to 3-7, to 3-6. Oh no, wait. Horse takes 2-3, king takes 2-4, or 2-6. Back up. Horse takes 2-3, king takes 2-5, horse 1-4. No, no. King can just take it back. King can run or just take it back. This type of mate has won you games before. I sort of also want to stifle the king or suffocate the king with like something like gold drop 1-3. Nah. Nah. The bishop. Let's bishop 1-3 promote. Bishop 1-3 promote. If lance takes, it's just gold drop on 2-4 because because the pawn is pinned. So bishop 1-3 promote. King takes. Lance. Bishop 1-3 promote. King takes. Lance drops 1/4. King has to run. Where's my mate? Where's my mate? Bishop 1/3. King takes. Lance 1/4. But that renders this useless. So the problem here is that it renders this useless. Like this silver means that's one of the problems I think with composed tsume is that every piece has meaning. And so like this piece means something. So I'm guessing I can't mate up here, but I'm still gonna treat this like it's a game. I'm gonna still treat this like it's a game. So bishop 1/3 promote, king takes, lance drop 1/4, king 2/2. Oh, then the gold drop 3/2 is mate. All right. So I still don't. So what's the Oh, it's here because if I do this, okay, so if I do 1/3 and the king takes 2/5, then I just drop the gold, and this silver is important. Hey, Koshiro, nice to see you. Yeah, so random pieces. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. They don't necessarily have to participate. They just exist to prevent variations. And yes, and that's yeah. And so I don't know when you said that. So like that's what I showed that the king can just take this, and then I get the gold drop on 3/5. Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I could edit this. Yeah, I wish you could sort of. I wish you could sort of play it through from their side. So like if I do this, he takes here, I drop the gold. And now the silver does matter. All right. Problem 15. Problem 15. I'm thinking knight. Pawn takes. Bishop drop. Silver takes. Bishop drop 3/1. Okay. They're giving us lots of bishops. They're definitely giving us lots of bishops. That was sort of, I think that one is one of those tsume problems. Again, not to always be just, I feel like I'm constantly complaining about the, not complaining, but like criticizing composed tsume problems because sometimes they give you more information than you'd have. Like if this was a real board, if there was other stuff, it wouldn't be so obvious that this knight, this knight pretty much has to be used. This knight is not defending anything back here, so I'm gonna have to use it. So it felt, sort of like a cheat code. It's like a big hint. And so it was just figuring out a way to make that work. Okay, problem 16. We have Hmm. So the king can run up here. We can't. We don't want him to be able to run up here. What if we pull the king up here? Hold on. What if we pull the king with 1-2? Gold 1-2. Nah. Nah. If I drop the bishop, if I drop like the bishop on, well, here on 3-5, king can run to 1-2. Yeah, there's nothing really. Well, bishop 1-2, bishop 3-5, king 1-2. Gold drop, silver takes, token takes. Now, there's also this magical this knight is just here. Just, just chilling. Hey, Foradun. Nice to see. It's a hint, but it's also urging me to pay attention to non-local pieces. That's fair. That's fair. I just think it would be easier if there were other pieces on the board to mask it a little bit. Like, I don't have many ways to check in this, so if I come in, the king can just take. If token 2-3, king can just take. So I don't have many ways to check. I've got the bishop, dropping somewhere in this diagonal. I've got the gold dropping on 2-4. I've got the gold dropping on 1-2. And I think I can ignore this 2-3, the token 2-3, because the king can just take it. And I don't really have a follow-up. Like gold drop, he runs. And that's it. Gold 2-3. Ah, wait, gold 2-3. Gold 2-3, silver takes, bishop drop 3-1 is mate. King 1-2, promote. Ah, okay. All right. It's like a one gap just with a token. That feels good. Knight 5-1 erases the easy check and chase. Does it? Really? Hold on. Tortupi, greetings. So, gold 2-4, king 1-2. So we would drop. Let me erase these. Gold 2-4, king 1-2. I'm guessing Bishop 3-4. King 1-1. Token takes silver. King takes. Gold 2-3. King 3-1. Silver drop 3-2. King 4-2. Dragon or silver 4-3 promote. Silver 3 promote. King 5-1. Silver. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. The easy check and chase. Mike K. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that well. Or correctly. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for that. Thank you for the message. Hope you enjoy Shogi. Play a lot of Shogi here. Today is an odd short stream for me, just because I have some people coming in to take care of some carpenter ants. And so in 11 minutes, I'll be closing it up. So just doing some Tsumeshogi problems, which, if you're familiar with Shogi, are mate problems. And if on the off chance you are at this channel because of Miss King, that you found Shogi through Miss King, I would love to know. I'm still searching for the second person now. We have one person who has come to Shogi, to this channel anyway, from Miss King. So we're on the hunt for the second. Okay, so I've got a knight. I've got a knight only. A knight, a dragon, and a rook. This almost looks like a chess position. You know, my instinct is, I'm not going to draw arrows. My instinct is horse 4-5. Horse 4-5, king 2-2. That ends that. One gap is always good. Rook 2-1, promote. This is a collection. This is a collection, and I'm going through. It's the mate and fives on Play Shogi. So Rico's already finished this one. So I'm on problem 17. I'm on problem 17 of 53. Rico has finished while watching and while chatting. I'm just so slow. I mean, and I am, to be fair, I am chatting. I'm talking, but I am definitely slow here. This is a great problem. So for me, even though this is composed, I'm going to say that this is a great problem because I really struggle with the super wide open positions. Got to be 2-1, right? I've got to get that one gap. The only way is to check. These are the only ways to check. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Not true. Not true. Not true. Not true. I can also do this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That doesn't do it. That doesn't do it because he can then take here. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. That does do it. That does do it. Okay. Horse 1-3. King takes. Rook 3-3. Get the one gap. Drop the knight on 2-5. Okay. I just heard a sound. All right. All right. I should have seen this one earlier. Smoglet rating with a party of 15. Thank you so much for that. Oh, man. Boy, I really appreciate it. That's what the sound was. I heard the sound that my voice was talking over the sound, and I couldn't recognize the sound. That's a nice raid. I'm about to be closing up in 5 minutes, unfortunately. Oh, I'm so sorry to everyone that's coming on that might be interested in Shogi. And thank you, Mike K, for the follow. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. I hope to see you more often. Today is a short stream for me because we have some people are coming out to take care of some carpenter ants in the ceiling that are sort of eating up a bunch of wood and dropping piles of wood in my daughter's bedroom. Yeah, great to see you. Ash Chess, you're gonna leave now, but you have to binge. You're gonna binge the past streams. Awesome. Thank you. I hope you enjoy them. It's you say it's been some time since you discovered Shogi through this channel. It's weird how humans have created such complex, rich board games. It really is. It really is. You know, we've been talking a little bit about Go and Go today. So Go and Shogi, and chat. It's crazy. Yeah, and one of the nice things, like you say, the more you learn, the more you have far to go. So if you're someone who enjoys learning and studying and you enjoy pushing yourself, these kinds of games are just incredible. And the podcast interview that I did with again, to cite the Grandmaster Zkid is his username, the chess Grandmaster, who's now a very strong Shogi player, and he just talked about how he loves these games. I don't know how much he played Go, but he got to 3-Dan AGA, I think, like in almost no time. So like he's a chess grandmaster. In a year, he has become one of the best shogi players outside of Japan. And when he played Go back, I think he said when he was in high school or something like that, like he got really good really fast. Yeah, first rats, not ants. Yeah, today is ants. Today is carpenter ants. Today is the carpenter ants. The guy told me, we were talking on the phone and we were discussing this. He's like, you're basically out in the wilderness. It's not really. It's not the wilderness. We're in Northern California, just like the South Bay, the San Francisco Bay Area. But all this land, this all just used to be orchards. It all just used to be orchards. So there's tons of trees, tons of wildlife, tons of rats. It's small. You can comprehend Shogi until the pieces started moving. Yeah. You should have started with chess and then moved to Go and then come back. Suga Dinta. Yeah, you read that with no context. Exactly. You'd be wondering like what the heck is going on. Since Vexel Cafe is here, I'm going to mention that I'm drinking Rooibos tea. I'm drinking some not so great, but not so bad Rooibos tea. Just we were at the store the other day, and I remember that I've got to get some tea, some decaf tea, and I picked up this Twinings. It's not bad. Yeah, a tisane. Yeah, I've had a bunch of decaf coffee this morning. I'm now having this red tea, and all right. So it's we have 2 more minutes. We have about 2 more minutes. Let's see if I can solve this. Actually, I probably have more than 2 minutes. I probably have between 2 and 5 minutes. I just don't want to. I don't want to get them coming while I'm I'm chatting here. So let's see. Let's see. We've got 2 knights. Knight drop. Knight drop. Wait. Knight drop. King runs to 1-2. This knight jump to 2-4. King to 1-1. Knight drop on 2-3. So knight, king, knight. King can only move this way, and then knight drop. So that's the nice thing about problems that have knights in them. You're pretty much always going to use them. So knight drop. The trick here is not dropping the knight; it's jumping the knight. All right, so you've got 3 knights with What is the proverb? Is it with 3 knights there must be mate, or is it 3 knights in hand? With 3 knights there must be mate, something like that. And here's an example of it. With 3 in hand. Okay. Well, this was close. This was close. We had 2 in hand and 1 in a perfect position on board, almost like it was in hand. So, all right, perfect timing. So that was 18. We got through 18 today. Thank you everyone for the chatting and for just hanging out. Thank you for that raid so much as always, Smoglet. I appreciate it. I'm going to I'm going to take off here, and I will see you tomorrow. Again, I probably will be going back on my word and playing that Lee Shogi yearly annual arena tomorrow. So I probably won't be doing my usual 10-second blitz kind of games, but we'll see. If you want to join, please do, and I'll see you tomorrow. So thanks everyone. Have a great remainder of the day. Take care. Bye.